violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Tonight marks 3 weeks since a California woman disappeared while visiting Houston. Felicia Johnson was last seen applying for a job at a Northwest Houston adult entertainment club and hasn't been seen or heard from since.
She cold.
Grace White joins us now with how her case is getting congressional attention and where the investigation stands tonight. Grace?
Felicia Johnson's father is still in Houston, and he told us he met with police today. He says it's moving in the right direction, but he can't share more details because of the ongoing investigation, an investigation that has the attention of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
We hope to God she's found safely.
It's been 3 weeks since Felicia Johnson disappeared on April 15th. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee adding her voice, advocating for answers.
Wow. So we have a missing sister, and I grazed over this story before in a previous video. We didn't have much information, but now we've got pretty much the full story. I believe that her body has not been found yet, but she is no longer with us, okay? The man who was accused of killing Felicia Johnson is still on the run. And guys, I just want to bring light to this story because this is a situation of an intercourse worker, okay? She was an Instagram Tatiana, and I will prove that by the end of this video. And she was out here selling that WAP, okay? She was out here doing what Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, and the City Girls are telling women to do. But they're not following up and saying, hey, you could possibly get killed if you meet up with the wrong type of John, or hey, you could, you know, get an STD, or hey, you could possibly get monkeypox if you deal with a bisexual man. So there's so many different things that these women are not telling you, but then they're basically promoting that you sisters, that you go out and sell that WAP to the highest or lowest bidder, because what we're going to find out is she really wasn't selling it for that much.
This was a precious young woman. She came to our community, and we owed her safety, and we need to find her.
But
no, you don't owe a woman safety if she's out here doing illegal activities. Now, look, selling that WAP is illegal, and I'm not like I'm not justifying the fact that she was taken out, but you're not owed safety when you are participating in activities that could potentially lose your rights, okay? You could potentially lose your rights by participating in these illicit activities, and yet Felicia, she didn't care. She was living that city girl lifestyle, and it cost her big time.
finding solid leads hasn't been easy. The 24-year-old is from San Diego. Her father, Kevin Johnson, believes she was at Cover Girls on West Little York the night she went missing. And he says they found her cell phone at Bear Creek Park. But Houston police have not confirmed that story. Last week, Johnson made a public plea outside City Hall.
My plea today is to the city of Houston and all its governor entities would hear my heart and my plea.
The Adult Entertainment Club told KHOU11 it's handed over surveillance footage.
And guys, this is what I need to tell you guys. If a woman is in the clubs and she's dancing, she's stripping, she's absolutely selling that WAP. I don't care what y'all say. Well, and all the women who strip gonna be like, well, no, not all. Like, sometimes we be having boyfriends and we be in relationships. No, you're selling. If a guy say 1,500 to smash, you're doing it.
And is cooperating with police. The FBI confirms it's involved too. And the Congresswoman hoping the story will get more Houstonians attention.
I want to simply say to the family, I am joining with them. We won't let up until we find out what happened to this precious young woman.
We checked in with Houston police today. They're not releasing any new information. The reward at Crime Stoppers still stands at $5,000. That's a reward not...
Wow. A whopping $5,000 reward. That's 10 times more than what she was selling her WAP for. So she was selling the WAP for $500, and then, you know, she gets dismembered. She gets deleted by this John that she was dealing with, and the reward to find her dead body is $5,000. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Not just for finding her, but for tips leading to an arrest because they believe there is a criminal element involved. Grace White, KHOU 11 News.
4 weeks have passed since Felicia Johnson went missing in Houston. The California native came here last month to celebrate her birthday and make some extra money before she disappeared.
Make some extra money. I mean, the way these women are talking about it on the news story, they're acting like it's totally legal. That's just like saying, oh, well, Chukwuebuka Jackson came to Houston, you know, to sell a brick of cocaine to make some extra money. Like, no, this is illegal. This is illegal. What she's doing is illegal. Crossing state lines. I mean, that's a federal offense. And they're talking about human trafficking. These chicks are trafficking themselves to the next state and jumping on that pogo stick.
Felicia is just one of several people who will be highlighted tomorrow on Missing in Harris County Day. Brittany Ford has another look at Felicia Johnson's case now.
Well, Felicia's father, Kevin, says the investigation is moving forward. He says any little bit of information helps. The same can be said for families planning to attend Harris County's Missing Persons Day event scheduled for tomorrow.
Sunday marks 1 month since 24-year-old Felicia Johnson went missing. Her father, Kevin, meeting with HPD last Friday.
We do know when all of our movement stopped, which is our social media.
Don't they say these fathers keep sons out of jails and daughters off of stripper poles, yet the man's daughter is on a stripper pole, and not only that, but selling the WAP to the highest, lowest, or mid-tier buyer.
Her bank accounts, any of her movements stopped on the 16th. So that's what I know for sure.
I mean, my thing is, the father, I would have said, look, baby, how much you making a week? I will do all in my power to make up that money, to give you the lifestyle that you want, as long as you stay out of that damn club. That's all you got to do for me, baby. Like, where are those type of fathers at? I'm not saying he got to support her lifestyle, but, you know, there's got to be some type of barrier to keep your daughters off the stripper pole. Because to me, it just doesn't make sense that to me, it looks like he's the only father, but she's still looking to get that male validation from outside sources.
Johnson says police were able to confirm Felicia in the surveillance video handed over by CoverGirl's Adult Entertainment Club, where she was allegedly last seen.
They have identified her on the surveillance footage that is her. And they also know where her last whereabouts were.
He says they couldn't go into any further details, but says he left with a better idea of where the investigation stands.
And I just appreciate knowing anything at this point.
Saturday, families of missing persons in Harris County will be hoping to gain similar insight.
This event, Missing in Harris County Day, started in 2015.
Harris County Missing Persons Day, spearheaded by the Texas Center for the Missing, a chance for loved ones to connect with resources.
Coming in, talking to law enforcement, they'll do their thing, file the case number, and guide you. What is the next step? What should you be doing now?
In Johnson's case, HPD says it's still a very active investigation, but had no further details to release. A father's plea as each day not knowing feels like an eternity.
Can somebody please find it in their heart to just come forward and just say something? If you know something, say something.
Now, Crime Stoppers is still offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest in Felicia's case. Harris County Missing Persons Day event is scheduled at the Children's Assessment Center tomorrow at 10 a.m. Brittany Ford, KHOU 11 News.
I think we got work to do. and we're ready to do it.
It was Texas EquiSearch volunteers that found Felicia Johnson's purse in Bear Creek Park, close to where Johnson's family found her cell phone. And although Houston police believe the 24-year-old was murdered, they still have not found her body.
Bear Creek Park, it's thick in areas. There's some little roads that go off. There's some little areas that would be simple to pull in and dump something and get out without being seen.
Tim Miller says his volunteers stand ready to search again. The suspect, Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, is
Dang. That's a tongue twister. They got these Africans out here serving you straight up Somali machete blades of death. Like, Jesus. I mean, these dudes coming over here and slicing and dicing. This ain't Africa, bro. You can't just come over here and just kill a random woman and think you finna get off. Like, nah, bro. I mean, they're gonna have some type of accountability for this type of stuff. And the problem with deleting a sex worker in general, you know, look at what she was selling the WAP for, $500. And then look at what her reward was. The reward to find any information about her, $5,000. Like, is it really worth it? I mean, I'm talking to the women. Is it really worth it to go out and, you know, sell the WAP for such a small amount of money when you're taking on so much risk? Not only the fact that it's illegal, but you're meeting up with a person that you've never met, you know nothing about, and you can't really get a background check on. I mean, typing this guy's name into a background check would be, it would be horrendous. You know what I mean? Like, and there's no, he might tell you his name, but there's no way you're going to know how to spell it off rip unless you know, are reading it. And like I said, man, once the social media or the public opinion, once they realize that, oh, she was a prostitute, then the level of care starts to decrease even lower. Unfortunately, that's the game. It's just like when a brother gets killed and he was a street dude. Okay, this is how he's supposed to go out. Oh, he was a gang member. This is how he's supposed to go out. This is what he was doing it for, right? So it's the same type of sentiment when a sex worker dies or gets killed, and that is why these types of dudes choose those women, because they think, she's involved in sex work, nobody will miss her.
Charged with murder, but still on the run.
We actually didn't even do call outs for all of our members because we didn't want the possible suspect to know where we were searching or what we were doing.
According to court documents, here's the timeline Houston police homicide detectives have laid out. On April 16th at 2:56 in the morning, Johnson is last seen at the Intercontinental Hotel at the medical center. She gets into an Uber HPD says was ordered by Nwobodo. He responded, detectives say, to an ad Johnson placed online. The Uber took...
Wow. And these chicks is selling the WAP straight offline. Straight offline. And these are the same women saying they're business owners, entrepreneurs, they get a bag.
Johnson to Nwobodo's old address on Windchase. Then he picks her up and takes her to his apartment on South Richmond, according to police. An hour later, his car is seen on surveillance video leaving the complex. And at 5:12 in the morning, Johnson's phone connects with a cell tower near where her family finds it in Bear Creek Park later that day. The next 2 days, HPD says receipts show Nwobodo took out money, purchased supplies, and his internet searches included things like most forested parts of Houston. On May 13th, detectives got search.
This is premeditated murder. Sisters, I told you, you need to start doing background checks on these guys you're linking up with. This is why women need pimps. I'm sorry. But if they're gonna do it, they better get some direction. I'm not talking about an abusive pimp, but women need pimps straight up. Like, there's no question about it. All these women getting killed, I guarantee these dudes would not be killing these chicks if they knew it was a man on the other end of that body, okay? And he was gonna be outside the hotel or wherever the venue was that y'all linking, and you're not leaving there if she doesn't leave there, okay? That's how pimping works. So, I'm really not that mad at Young Thug and Gunna for pushing P, because, I mean, now that you're looking at it, these women really do need pimps, honestly. If they're going to do it, then they need some guidance from a man, or at least some protection, because they can't do it alone. There's no way they can fend for themselves with a guy named Chukwuebuka, like whatever the hell his name was. Like, you're not defending yourself from a goddamn. I mean, this dude is a freaking. He's a Amazonian warrior type, like real talk. Like, he probably could snap her with his bare hands. Like, that's a big dude. Okay, that's a big dude, and he got a long name. Okay, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but you know, if you're gonna be doing this alone, you need to be taking pictures of IDs, doing background checks. You need to have a manager or something, even if it's a woman, somebody you're sending this guy's information back to do a background check before you even link with him. Get the deposit, get the money, whatever, beforehand. Or half of it, I don't know, but y'all trapping backwards, and it's costly.
Warrants for his car and apartment. He was taken into custody during a traffic stop, but it's unclear when he was released. In the apartment, investigators found very strong support of Johnson's DNA, and in his car.
Wow, so he was taken into custody after a traffic stop, and Harris County let him go. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Car, a gun, knife, and shovel.
My fear is now that, and hopefully I'm wrong, that this is one of them cases where she's never going to be found.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Chukwuebuka Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Developments now in the disappearance and death of Felicia Johnson. Her accused killer has been charged but is still on the run. The 28-year-old man is accused of killing her inside his apartment and then dumping her body days later. Her remains have not been found, but items that belonged to her were discovered in Bear Creek Park. Our Rochelle Turner has much more on the situation. Rochelle?
Lauren, days after she was reported missing, her phone was found covered in blood at this park. Now the search is on for the suspect and where he dumped her body. Today we spoke to a mother at the apartment complex where police say the suspect lived.
That definitely puts fear in me.
Zena Brewington couldn't believe the news about Felicia Johnson. The 24-year-old disappeared in April, and Houston police say she was murdered. Brewington says she was living across from this man, 28-year-old Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, at the Link Apartments on South Richmond Avenue. Investigators say Nwobodo picked up Johnson from an apartment on Wind Chase Boulevard and took her to his apartment. Nwobodo is on the run and charged with murder and tampering with evidence in Felicia Johnson's disappearance.
Man, he probably back in Nigeria by now.
It's definitely scary. I mean, it was scary, first off, just to see the SWAT team there.
Brewington says officers wearing camouflage armed with weapons showed up to the complex on May 13th.
I heard them trying to get him to come outside, nothing. And then I heard them actually force their way into the apartment.
Police say Nwobodo killed Johnson inside of his apartment before disposing her personal items at Bear Creek Park. Felicia's phone was found near the park, covered in blood, days after she got into a car with a man at the CoverGirls nightclub on West Little York Road.
Wow.
Since Felicia's disappearance, her father, Kevin, and
and think about how many times she did this before. Think about how many times she did this before, y'all.
Community activists have searched and prayed for justice. The 24-year-old from California visiting Houston never made it back home. And we did ask Houston police about what the woman says happened on May 13th, but they told me they cannot answer any questions about the investigation. Right now, Crime Stoppers is still offering a $5,000 reward for information on this case. Reporting live from Bear Creek Park, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
Disturbing details are continuing to emerge regarding a man now charged with murdering and dismembering a woman. This is after taking her to his West Houston apartment. Fox 26's Dominique Heath joining us live with a warning for thousands of Houstonians. Dominique.
Yeah, according to court records, Felicia Johnson and the man now charged with her murder, they agreed to meet up on Snapchat, and he was supposed to pay her $500. That's according to court records. Well, she hasn't been seen since, and tonight there is a warning for the thousands of Houstonians who work in the sex industry.
Is that what y'all ladies are worth? $500? Come on, man. Come on. Y'all got to get y'all hustle up. Like, you know, I know we crack jokes about, you know, over here we want beautiful women. We, you know what I'm saying? Like, dudes like busting the cheeks, whatever. But y'all got to have more value of y'allself. Like, for real. This is... And a lot of women are going into intercourse work. What? They're going to give you the numbers. Listen to how many women are involved in this industry just in Houston.
Anybody can become a victim of a villain.
That's the first point Precinct 1 Human Trafficking Victim Services Director Catherine Griffin wants to drive home.
See, anybody can become a victim, but you're more likely to become a victim if you are involved in the intercourse industry. Like, stop trying to sugarcoat it. Look at Mercedes Moore. Okay? We've got countless examples of these women getting butchered by their Johns.
Let the murder of 24-year-old Felicia Johnson be a learning lesson, and don't think it can't happen to you.
It is so dangerous, and every media outlet should be screaming from the rooftops on how dangerous this is, and let stories like this be known.
Chukwuebuka Nwobodo is now charged with murdering and dismembering Felicia Johnson after investigators say her blood was found in his apartment. Court documents show she was last seen April 16th leaving her hotel in an Uber paid for by Nwobodo. On April 17th, investigators say he bought a handheld and a power saw, towels and trash bags, and according to court records, even as Nwobodo searched the internet for things like, can bleach destroy DNA, and the most forested part of Houston, he also Googled Houston escorts. And there are tens of thousands here.
I would estimate and say anywhere from 70 to 80,000 sex industry workers.
Woo! Sex, hey, fellas, if yeah, I mean, if you looking for these quick, short, you know, interactions, 70 to 80,000, and I would say it's more because a lot of these girls in college are on Seeking and they're doing the same thing, okay?
Daily.
That's a lot, just in Houston, Harris County.
Yes.
Griffin wants sex workers to do a few things to stay safe, such as don't meet at a client's home, but most of all, she wants you to know help getting out of this industry is available.
It's very vitally important that individuals know to reach out to us so that we can help.
Now, Precinct 1 can help with everything from treatment to therapy to housing and finding a job. We have contact information for them on our website. Felicia Johnson's body, by the way, still hasn't been found, and her accused killer is still on the run. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Dominique Keith, Fox 26 News.
All right, guys, so we are on Felicia Johnson's Instagram, aka Felicia Marie, and I just looked up the statistics for the amount of women that are in Harris County, and it looks like there's about 2.4 million women in Harris County. So let me do the math right quick. She said there's about 70 to 80,000 women in sex or intercourse work. So let's do the math right quick. So that is about That's about 4% of women in Harris County who are involved in intercourse work. And I would say that it's more. I would go up to 10% because a lot of these chicks have respectable jobs and whatnot, and they're still involved in intercourse work. So we're going to go to her story a little bit. Okay, she wilding a little bit. Oh, she doing a lot. All right, she's doing a lot. Y'all can go follow her there or whatever, check her out. But it was obvious that she was involved in the intercourse game. She was selling that WAP to the highest bidder. She needed every cent. She needed every dollar. And it's unfortunate that we have our sisters going out here and, thinking that this is all that they're worth. Especially, I'm surprised because she had father involved in her life. But 24 years old, getting butchered by a freaking beast animal of like an African super gremlin. Like, bro, that is not the way you want to go out, man. And it looks like she took care of herself. Very smooth skin, in shape. She wasn't no overweight sister. And unfortunately, this is the route that she chose. And, this life ended up biting her in the behind. These super horny gremlins are on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.